Christopher, thanks for the last two emails. After listening to your second email on hitting your attacker, I wanted to ask you a question, which is something that really bothers me. I've been in situations where I simply freeze when I see violence. I have studied martial arts for most of my life, and I believe that I am physically capable to win any street fight. However, something happens when I am presented with the opportunity to fight in the real world. It is really important to me that I overcome this for my sake and my friends and family. Can you please help me? Thanks, Paul. Good question, Paul. This is exactly what I'm talking about in terms of the mental aspect. And with him, it's not even a matter of him being afraid to fight, because if he's been doing martial arts his whole life, I'm sure he's done a lot of boxing, kickboxing, submission wrestling, where you're actually hitting, being hit, some full contact training. He's not afraid to fight, it's just he freezes. Now let's break this down. What techniques are you training, or what techniques are you considering people attacking you with? What situations are you considering people attacking you in? And what techniques are you considering using to go ahead and fight back? Just speaking physically, when you're in your martial arts dojo, when you're in your gym training boxing, kickboxing, mixed martial arts, whatever, is it like somebody's coming with clean techniques, like, okay, ready? Great. Punch and hold it? Or somebody goes ahead and they just throw punches and you practice just dodging them? Okay, is that what you got going on? When's the last time that somebody was walking up to you and they were doing like a situational kind of thing? Like, just talking to you, whatever, that just pushes you and just grabs you and just starts hitting you with a hand, okay? Somebody just pulls you and just throws you to the ground, not like a judo throw, okay? But just grabs you by your shirt or whatever and just starts pulling you, ripping you, throwing you against the wall, and at some point you trip, you're on the ground, not a real throw, but you just hit the ground and all of a sudden just start kicking you. Maybe there are two of them. How often do you have this happen? This is the problem. You train for these clean techniques, okay, where you know basically what's coming on, and then you see something in real life where guys are just windmilling at each other and there's no way to block it. I mean, they're just guys just throwing all kinds of crazy punches, okay? It's like this one movie I saw where, was it Stone Cold Austin Powers, whatever the hell his name is. He was in a cage fight and a guy bit him, and then he comes out afterwards, I can't believe that somebody bit me. Listen, I've got the scar where a guy bit me, okay? And because I did my mental training, because I was thinking about this, it didn't faze me. It hurt like hell. Okay, great. Ignore the pain, grab the guy's eyes, pull his head back, get your hand out, and now you can continue fighting, okay? Because, like I said, I did my mental training. If you're not, if you're going to do this for your physical training, like I said, just think about what it is. Have a guy put on gloves, and then just be like talking to you, and then just like push you, and then just start throwing blows with maybe like half power. You know, he doesn't have to kill you, but just get into the idea of this. Watch Jerry Springer or some talk show where a guy's like, oh yeah, by the way, yeah, I'm gay and I had an affair with your grandfather or something. The guy just gets up and just throws him off the chair and just starts, you know, they just start going at it. It's not a matter of like in a kung fu movie where the guys bow and then they start throwing punches. The guy just gets up and pushes him onto the ground. Then the guy's on the ground, he doesn't know what the hell's going on. This is what you need to prepare for, okay? This is why you freeze. Everybody knows somebody in a martial arts school or a gym. It's like, dude, man, what happened, man? You got beaten up. It's like, oh man, it was nothing like I expected. Because you train for traditional martial arts or sports, and then a street fight starts up with no warning, with techniques you've never seen, you know, and this is why you freeze. Like, this is something I've never seen before. Botch, botch, botch. They got a couple shots and you're on the ground already, okay? The same thing with freezing. A lot of people doubt themselves. Like, I know, when I was training mixed martial arts, I had a really good rear leg low kick. I had a really good jumping knee to the solar plexus. Everybody knows once in a while you're in the gym, you slip on your ass when you do this and you hit the ground. It doesn't matter, because if I throw 100 knees and once, 2, 3 times I fall, I mean, who cares? You know, it's like 1% where I fell. In a street fight, if I fall, you know I'm going to be screwed. Okay, this guy's going to just stomp on me and beat my ass, okay? So if you have a technique, even a simple technique, like a short technique, like a low kick, or a knee to the solar plexus, I mean, that's the kind of thing. What happens if you think to yourself, it's not really that likely that I'm going to slip, but what happens if I do slip? How much of a disaster will that be? And that's when you start to get worried, which is why, for instance, when I do my mental training, like I said, I get into these MP3s, but when I go ahead and I train okay, my mental training, it's only techniques like headbutts, okay? You can't really slip with a headbutt, especially if you grab the person. You can't really slip with a headbutt. Biting a person, it's not hard to bite a person, okay? It freaks him out, he freezes, and this is the chance to grab an eye, grab the windpipe, grab his head and twist it, let go with your teeth and just start headbutting him, get his back, whatever you want to do, okay? Because like I said, you grabbed his eye, you bit him, okay? But it's a really simple technique and you don't have to train it. If I went on vacation last week or for some reason didn't train three weeks in a row, I'm thinking, man, is my rear knee to the solar plexus as good as it used to be? Whereas, do you think I bite focus mitts to practice my biting, or I headbutt focus mitts to practice my headbutting? I don't do stuff like this. Because they're such simple techniques, you need to understand them, have them in the back of your head that it immediately comes out. It's like I said, imagine the difference between throwing some kind of a kick, or even throwing like a professional boxing punch, and just throwing like a rear elbow. Okay, the guy staying right in front of you. I've worked in discos where there's like maybe 300-400 people are allowed in. There are like 150 people extra that shouldn't be there. You know, people are like standing like this. Imagine if a fight breaks out. You're not even gonna be able to throw a punch, okay? The headbutts biting, think about it like this. Instead of throwing punches or your knees or whatever, just go ahead and just come up and throw an elbow, okay? If you hit the guy in the temple, the eyebrow area, or anywhere around the eye socket, if you hit the bridge of the nose, underneath the nose, wherever you hit him, okay, it's gonna hurt. And it's a fast technique, okay? You need to work that you get the right body movement, but in general, it's not something where I'm gonna fall, okay? And when the person's sitting right in front of you, you got your hands up, you might be able to just slip up his chest, grab the back of his head, grab the back of his neck, just pull it in. And I know from experience, but you know because it makes sense, if you've never done it, if you throw 5 elbows, 2-3 of them are going to get through at the least. And it's going to be devastating. I mean, this is hard, it doesn't hurt you, and imagine this power coming down the bridge of your nose, or underneath your nose, in the mustache area. Okay? Short, simple technique, just okay? So like I said, first of all, think about what is going to come to you. It's not going to be a martial arts technique. A boxer's not going to be attacked by a boxer. A wrestler's not going to be attacked by a wrestler. It's going to be somebody just windmilling, holding and hitting, headbutting you, pushing you around, pulling you around, throwing you to the ground, throwing you down the stairs. Think about this. Imagine this. Visualize this. There's lots of mental training that I teach, but imagine this just a little bit. Then, when you do, when you imagine what you're going to do in return, like I said, headbutts, biting, eye gouging, eye grabbing, elbow, very short, simple techniques. And if you want to go ahead and do, like I said, some training for self-defense physically, scenario training. Have a guy just walk up and talk to you, and then all of a sudden just push you, windmill, throw stupid techniques, no professional punches, just windmilling, holding and hitting, things like this. And when you see this all the time, and it's no big deal, okay, whether you've experienced it like I did as a bouncer, whether you've done mental training, visualizing it, whether you've done physical training, like full contact, semi-contact guys throwing just windmill blows, the more experience you have, the more you are used to seeing this, the less you're going to be freaked out or freeze, okay, when you actually have a street fight. Because like I said, that's what it is. Freezing means it's nothing that I'm expecting, it's nothing that I expected to see. And that's why you might have problems. So, like I said, just get used to things that you are right now not used to, okay? Street fighting techniques. All right, hey Paul, I appreciate the question. I hope this helped you. I'm really working on getting my Facebook fan page set up, so we should be able to have a little bit more contact, okay, in terms of writing back to each other, and you guys come up with more suggestions for the video blog. Until then, train smart and watch your back.